What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Alright, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast poor, you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble episode 142. Bounce back! Reviewing the April 17th, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, my co-host, here every Thursday at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. He is the man. I was about to say 11 because I thought it was True Heel Heat. He is the man of 54,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram.
Oh, and there's plenty of those this week. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? We're not going to focus on those. Because all we have to focus on is what we did last night. We're not going to focus on the idiotic comments he made. Because why? For what? Why would you? You're just doubling down on something stupid you did. We've all done that. You came up with a stupid lie, get caught in your lie, so you make up another one. You can't get in trouble for the second lie. It's the first lie. Move on from that. Move on to this. Here for it.
Oh, you're talking about his reasoning for the tape? For rolling the tape?
What will be coming at? Which buck was it? Now think about it. I was in a good mood. Which buck was it that said fucking Jack Perry's a superstar in the waiting? Where the fuck he said? Which one was it? I forgot which one it was.
Hey, he is. You didn't see his. You didn't see him at Battle in the Valley. I mean, at Windy City Riot. I think it was Nick actually.
God damn it. Why you do this to me? Oh my god! It's like finding out Michael Jordan's a fucking Hitler supporter. I just what the fuck, Nick? You're supposed to be the talented one. You're supposed to be the smart one. You're making shitty comments like this. It makes me sick.
Hey, Jack Perry looked like a star at Windy City Riot.
He looked like a star. Why? Because he had a jacket and a beard, and the crowd was going nuts, calling him an idiot or cheering him on, depending on which side you're on.
Did you watch the match? Did you watch the match?
Why would I watch a Jack Perry match?
Exactly. So you don't know. You don't know. He looked like a star in the match. He looked like a star in the match. He looked like a star in the match.
He's a star? That's not how that fucking works.
Looked like a star in the match.
What does that mean?
I'm just talking about that match. That match. He looked like a star. He looked like he's improved. He looked like he's improved. He looks like a star.
What the fuck? What kind of big ass cap is that? It looks like he's improved. It looks like he's a star. Absolutely. I was confused. I'm not sure who that was though. Jack Perry?
Yeah, I'm specifying.
I wasn't entirely sure.
I didn't say he was a star on the level of The Rock. I just said he looked like a star.
Roman?
Didn't say on the level of Roman.
Well, what level of star are we talking about, sir?
He's not super. He's not LeBron James. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Steph Curry. He's a first-time All-Star.
Give me a
He's Julius Randle.
What would that translate into wrestling? He's Claudio.
He's Dolph Ziggler.
That's a star. Stop.
He was a star for a moment in time.
So he's Dolph Ziggler as a champion. That's what you're telling me. Jack Perry right now is Dolph Ziggler as a champion.
He has that potential. That's his ceiling. For me right now, judging on first time, seeing him at Windy City Riot, there's potential.
These niggas have lost their mind. It's okay. You see this sometimes.
Sir.
People, you see this sometimes when people go through very stressful events. Like there's a whole bunch of like a family tragedy. They'll like have a mental break, and then they'll start talking as if nothing's ever happened. This is what happened. All of a sudden, Jack Perry, uncharismatic dolt, is a star now. Okay, sure. Hey,
the best decision of his career may have been Thrill Glass, Crimea River.
Oh, definitely. But so what? Is it okay to be a star if you sink the whole company? What kind of good idea is that? What kind of psychopath is this? At least I'm a star.
He didn't sink the whole company.
It's like snatching a microphone.
The company is still in existence. The company's still running.
With your 5 minutes of fame so you can sing on the Titanic. That's a wild idea. Sorry. There are other things to focus on, please.
See, look at ALW. He says joining House of Torture has made him better already. Show House of Torture some respect. Nah, I won't. It's not because of House of Torture.
I'm gonna need some clarification. I'm not gonna let you guys get away with your big statements.
Look at Big Man though. He wants it. He wants this. He says put the world title. Let's put the world title on Jack. That since he's a star, prove Punk wrong.
Absolutely, he's a star.
He needs to feud with Swerve, and he needs to steal the world title and put an X on it.
Oh my!
And call himself the real world champion. Someone actually put that booking online, and I was like, it's so horrible. It would be fantastic.
How old are you, Power Driver finisher? Jack Perry is what Pillman Jr. should have been. How old are you? I'm not gonna have this rehistory of who Pillman Jr. was. I charismatic out the ass. How dare you compare him to Jack Perry? You outside of your fucking mind? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it.
You said Pillman Jr. is charismatic out the ass? You thought that? I don't remember you ever saying that though when he was on AEW.
Oh, Pillman Jr. My bad. Yeah, that's fine. You know what's funny?
It was like he had to reread it again.
I had to reread it. I'm about to. You know what? That's the second time I've read that. Well, not that, but I read earlier that he should have been what Brian Pillman was, rather. So sorry, Power Driver. My bad. I'm in a bad mood. My apologies. Came at your neck for no reason. My bad. That
was the best. All right, thank you, people. Thank you guys for joining us live here. We are here every Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The best AEW Dynamite review on wrestling YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We're pushing to 14,000. Hopefully can get that over the AEW Dynasty weekend. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you haven't already, so you always get an alert whenever we go live here. But most importantly, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you. Highlight your comments as we go on and hear your opinions on AEW Dynamite. But of course, if you want to make sure you have your comment highlighted on screen and you want to show your support to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. That is also important to what we do. It goes back to all the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And as Jimmy Macram says, we broke. We need the help. We appreciate the support. But yes, we got in the chat here with us already. Power Driver Finisher, like we said before. We also got BJ Darton in the chat. Thanks for joining us.
Look at this cunt. What is he, by himself? Am I fucking invisible here? What the fuck is this? Oh my god.
Christopher Kidd says this show was good. Even the low points were relatively more than mid. We also
relatively more than mid.
Relatively more than mid. That is
the essay. You have a word count you got to reach. Spit it out in English, sir. Relatively more than mid. What?
We got Annika joining us early, saying, "Dang, this was a good show this week. No Jimmy rant," and we already got a Jimmy rant right after she probably commented that. So. Steven Chambers says Dynasty shaping up to be a great card.
Absolutely. They added Jericho and Hook. Did you see? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
What? Why do we have two matches added to the card, and the one that should have been on the pre-show is not on the pre-show, and the one that needed to be on the main card to make all these months worth it is not on the main card? It's on the pre-show.
Guts, that's why. Told you.
Fair enough. Yeah, Jimmy is so not a fan of Dynasty. He won't even help me out and join me tomorrow for the preview. This son of a bitch.
Good job.
He worked. He working. You actually were free.
Love that. He's working.
It goes to your April bill. It's not like you're doing it for free.
You can sleep for free.
What?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
AEW watch along. Jesus. It's a fucking ASMR thing. I'm right to sleep.
Dog says Punk will look so stupid. I don't know what that was referring to. We got Big Man Dogs who says also Jack could be dressed like Patrick from SpongeBob and still not be a star.
Thank you.
Stop it. There you go. Big Man Dogs, aka Jimmy Macram's burner account.
Never forget it.
We got Josh Matlock in the chat who says, if Jack comes back as a heel, I think CM Punk chants will start to be the norm when he's on camera. Do you think so?
Maybe not the norm. I mean, if you got 2,500 people in the fucking arena, you would imagine they're all AEW bands. Bands. So, it'll be all right.
No. Frantic World says, Punk, though, he had the last laugh, but it was Jack Perry that got it, and he became a big star in Chicago. That's his new home now. Hashtag Elite Goat.
If I read that before, I would have got upset. But I read that when he first put it, got upset, and then calmed down, and I realized he's trolling me. I'm not going to fall for it.
I love this one. I love this one. Louis saying, Colin Feldman Jr. charismatic should have worded a disclaimer. To be I knew he was confused. I knew there was miscommunication. That's why I didn't immediately go disclaimer. I was like, did he really just say that Brian Pillman Jr. was? I don't remember him ever saying that.
Very fair. Jack has not reached that level. Let's not get crazy.
There you go. BJ Durton says, damn, Jimmy, I just put you over in the DM. I said SP3 on Twitter. LOL. I agree with you.
Thank you. I was very nice to you in the DM I sent to SP3. So I'm not entirely sure what your beef is.
But he didn't say hashtag Jimmy ran smoothly.
Thank you. Welcome.
I love you say, I was nice to you too. You sent me no damn DM. Very, very well done. Very well done, sir. We got our first super chat donation, a super chism from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. We always appreciate the support. So does Eddie Kingston.
Tony Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
That'll be all of you 2 months into this fucking Jack Perry push. You'll be, I'm sorry.
I've been trolling. Will says, I may get heat for this, but can we fast forward to Mercedes' first match? Because I can't take her WWE 2019 promo. And please take the CEO chant out of her song.
Fucking heinous. Oh my God. I feel so bad. I don't feel bad. I'm sure she's making a whole fuck ton of money. But
she is making a fuck ton of money, but it's like if she's not healthy, I need the report. I need a report or something to explain like why they would think it was a good idea to save her debut matchup for 2 months after her debut.
Because the way you all think is that you got to do things on time frames and you got to do things in locations. So it doesn't matter if it makes sense. If it's a year from another big event, you do that. Doesn't matter if it makes sense. If it's in Boston, you got to bring her in for Boston. So what do you want? It's Boston. Now she's here. You're welcome. With nothing to do. Fucking Chris Benoit cutting promos for 10 weeks. That's all we need. Genius.
I think she's good at the wrestling thing. I think she's good at the wrestling thing. I don't know. It's like if they brought Will Ospreay in and they had him not curse for 2 months. Like things like why are you having her do something that she's not as good as the thing that she's really good at? And she's not the character that she needs to be to not be in the ring. Like if she was a heel character, maybe she could still be entertaining and not wrestle, but she's not. So it's just very confusing.
You just answered one Mike Nation's fucking question here. Doesn't WWE always do it? Well, Mercedes ain't Punk. Sorry. She isn't.
Yeah.
Punk could never wrestle the rest of his life. He'll be fine.
Punk gave us the SmackDown, that first SmackDown promo that was great. The back and forth with him and Seth Rollins in December. The back and forth with him and Drew McIntyre. The back and forth with Cody Rhodes. Like there was a multiple entertaining segments, despite CM Punk coming back at Survivor Series and not wrestling to the Royal Rumble. I'm just waiting on one segment outside of their debut that's entertaining. It's been the debut was the high, and it's been like this ever since.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute! Is today the 18th?
Today is the 18th.
Awesome. Did you have anything else you want to get to? This might take us some time.
We got another super chat donation here from Alexander. Thank you so much, Alexander. We appreciate you.
I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
We got Alexander who says, I was joking about getting Taz versus Jericho a few weeks ago, and it might become a reality. Taz versus Jericho, whoever wins gets custody of Hook. It felt like two parents fighting over their child. It did at certain points in that segment.
Like the mother in that situation. But Taz is in no shape to do anything. I'm sorry. No. I know he's not old. But the way they had him fucking look, a push, brought him to his knees for an hour. The fuck are we doing? Oh, all right. Good luck to you.
He looked winded off of a push.
Right?
He looked quite winded. Like I was like, all right, go ahead, Jimmy.
All right, I'm gonna be nice because we've been rather rough. Well, I've been rough with Mercedes for a long time now, like a month and a half, however long it's been. And you were not nice to her the last couple of weeks, deservedly so. We had a whole conversation. When was this? When did she come in?
March 13th.
Jesus. So let's say February, about how big of a draw Mercedes is. She's not, clearly. No need to compare to Becky or to Rhea or to any big draw at the moment. It is what it is. She's never been that lady. She's not that lady now. I'm sorry. I enjoy her. She's very talented, and she's hot as shit. That's not the issue. The issue now is, I'm not even going to take this time to gloat. I'm going to take this time to ask a question. Is she a draw at all? That's the question I need to ask. Is she a draw even a little bit? Forget big draw. Is she a little draw? Forget big joker. Is she a fucking 10 of spades?
Mercedes Moné is one of the few was a part of one of the few segments that outdrew AEW in the 18-49 demo back during the Wednesday night war between NXT and AEW. I think the real question here is anyone, I don't know if the bigger question is anyone a draw without WWE, but definitely we're seeing Mercedes is not without the WWE machine.
What is the that's a good question. Yeah,
because that you're making me have the question, because I was gonna say, is anyone like a draw? Like, would Becky coming over to AEW have any relevant difference, because she's about to be a free agent in now 7 weeks? Would that have any relative difference? I don't think so at this point now.
I was gonna say, I think Mercedes might have ruined it for fucking everybody. Because fucking, what happens when Becky threatens to go to AEW? What's Nick Khan do? Laugh? Okay. Feel free, motherfucker. Well, we gotta look at who's made a difference. Jericho. Not anymore. He did originally.
Moxley,
Punk. Is that the end of the list?
No. MJF.
He's not. I'm talking about people who came over from WWE.
Oh, okay. We came over from WWE. Brian and Cole, they made a difference initially.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Oh well, you gotta give him the Grand Slam thing, I guess.
Yeah, Grand Slam and the Hangman matches drew great for them.
That's true. Okay, so that's 5.
I think I think he does relatively good when he has a match on Collision too. So Brian still, yeah, it does count.
Legitimately hard. I mean, now look, it is what it is. Motherfuckers bounce she's on TV. Can't, no amount of charisma outside of fucking MJF and Jericho and maybe Punk can overcome bad booking. Sorry, I don't really know what to tell you. I was so happy at the beginning of this conversation. Now I'm just sad. I'm just brought myself down. I want them to be important so bad. I want Becky to be able to fucking gouge these motherfuckers for as much money as she can. She can't do that if the threat doesn't mean anything. The only reason they would pay you if you leaving is a big deal. I'm not sure she makes a gigantic difference in AEW. Okay.
I think WWE's at the point that no one is going to make a difference. That's why a lot of these guys, I think, are going to get kind of get lowballed, because no one's going to make a difference. It's about what they want out of their career.
That's very true. If you're in it for the money, which I'm not mad at, I'm also in it for the money. Yeah, it's a nice place. Edge, Banks, Okada. I still don't know what Okada's deal look like, considering how little he actually works. In the ring, he doesn't work much at all. It's fantastic.
I love it. I
enjoy it so much.
But I mean, the real question is we've kind of addressed it and mentioned all of it, but for anyone new who's watching, that there's just been a couple of big issues, because I mean, there's been talk online of certain people being like, "Oh, Okada's presentation hasn't been good," but I was like, no, there's levels to this. I think out of the three of them, Ospreay has been presented the best.
Clearly.
Okada has been presented good. He can get better. They can present him better, definitely, but he's presented good. And then there's Mercedes, which it does not look like they had a plan. It does not look like they even had at least with Okada. He joins the Bucks. He gets the AEW Continental Championship. That looks like they had a plan for him before he even signed with the company. Ospreay. They had the whole ball rolling with the Don Callis family. He gets immediately into a program with Bryan Danielson, one of the big matches at the pay-per-view. It looked like from the beginning they had a plan for him. With Mercedes, it's, hey, you and Willow had a match, your last match, so let's do that. And that's going to be your first match back, and it's going to be 1 year from the date, but we're going to bring you back in March, and then you're going to wrestle your first match in May, and we'll get back to you on the next thing. We'll get back to you. Okay, this week the lights are gonna cut off and you're gonna get attacked. And then this week you're mad and you're pissed off. You're putting the whole women's division on notice and you're gonna make the save for Willow. Okay, cool. And it's like with this story, there is potential there because I mean the one that makes me optimistic about this part of the build or whatever they're doing with Mercedes is that it's Chris Statlander. It has to be Chris Statlander for this to be interesting. Who attacked her? It has to be Chris. It can't be Julia. It can't be Willow. Those are the two prime suspects. It has to be someone different. The person who's in play in this story that makes sense to do this attack is Chris Statlander. And I like that to facilitate the Chris Statlander heel turn more than her just turning on Willow. Because more or less, you could say that she's doing this for Willow. So this is a more interesting heel route for her.
Everybody's benefiting from this except Mercedes, I would say.
I will say, yes, Willow has gone up in like star presence, TV time. She's benefiting. It is really what Mercedes said, that she was coming to benefit the AEW division because it ain't doing much for her. It's doing a lot for the women's division in general, but it ain't doing much for her.
Yeah, that's why I thought she wouldn't sign. I just figured, I know the money's going to be great, but I can't trust Tony Khan with my booking for 2 years. Like, why? On what planet is that a good idea? Well, it's a planet when you make fucking, I don't know how much you're making, $5 million a year, whatever the fuck. Sure, fuck it. I'll let Vince Russo book me for fucking $5 million a year. Feel free. Jesus.
That's what people are feeling, apparently. We got Romy1 Kenobi. He says Mercedes Moné right now is as entertaining as rewinding a VHS tape. We also got Josh Matlock who says, I'm pretty sure she's not healthy enough to go yet. That has not been confirmed. That's just us assuming. That's us assuming.
And it's not my fucking problem. If
also true.
Because you stink or because fucking something happened early in the day, it's not my issue. Right now, you stink. All right. I was working out, and then I lost my clothes, and then I couldn't take a shower. Well, nigga,
But Fantasy World, you're saying I don't want AEW to rush Mercedes. They're literally rushing her in front of our eyes. If you bring her in, and it's not till 2 months from then, she's healthy enough or able enough, or you decide to book her in a matchup. Whatever the reasoning is that you debut her in March and her first match is not till the end of May, you're doing something wrong when we have to spend 2.5 months with babyface Mercedes Moné. I'm sorry. Every promotion has learned. You start Mercedes as a heel. New Japan Pro Wrestling, the partner of AEW, did the smart thing. They had Mercedes come in as what? A heel. That is what she is comfortable at. That is where she is best at. That is where she is most entertaining at. It is not, I don't really feel like that last comment is just Mercedes Moné is as entertaining as rewinding a VHS tape. But babyface Mercedes Moné is definitely as entertaining as rewinding a VHS tape.
It's such a specific insult, too. That's my favorite one in a long while. Yes, very true. It is what it is. Sorry, we can love her all we want, but this is objectively not good, I'll say. We have levels on it. Some people think it's mid, some people think it's bad. We can all agree it ain't good, right?
It's nothing other than good. So there's an issue there. We do have another super chat donation from Will Chisholm, a super Chisholm, if you will. Thank you so much, Will.
He wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
Will says Ruby Soho was so tired of that storyline, she's going to have a baby. Ruby like NXT not looking so bad now. How is Liv Morgan being booked better than me in the runaway? I mean, Liv Morgan is only being booked better because she accidentally injured somebody.
I thought it was good the week before that. It's a great idea.
When she attacked her, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, I was very upset when I read the news. I was almost like that guy who fucking lost his mind and said she should be killed or whatever the fuck he said.
Oh my God, dude. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people?
I understand the emotion, sir. Probably should keep to yourself and rethought what you were saying. But yeah, listen, good on Ruby. I gotta be honest, considering where she was in NXT and where she's been in AEW so far, like, what could you really expect? I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. She's got the women's division's Miro or Malachi Black. Like, you were biggish when you came in, and then bigger people came in. I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. Sorry.
Move to the wayside. That is also true. What Big Man Dog's saying. Omega was a draw for Big. Still, just last year. Remember the Kingo matchup? Drew Big for them just last year. So
I don't care about that. Okay, about the MJF match was big. I mean, watch Collision.
Yeah, and that was just a couple of months ago, really.
Oh, Kenny Omega. Did we not talk about Kenny Omega? The great Kenny Omega? The brilliant Kenny Omega. I've always liked Kenny Omega. You've not been a fan. You want to ban
He always liked Kenny Omega. Now this, you gonna lie to the new viewers? That's what you be doing? That's what we doing today? All right.
I've always said that if I was CM Punk and if anybody in the league came to talk to me who was not Kenny Omega, I'd tell you to fuck off. We don't even need to have a conversation. Who are you to even think you exist in my presence? So Kenny Omega I would have a conversation with. And it depends what Kenny Omega wanted to do. And outside forces, great wording by him, by the way, outside forces made this not possible. Who could those outside fucking forces be? Well, you know what? We'll get into it later. It's not important. I'm sure it's not fucking Dummy 1 and Dummy 2.
And I'm sure it's not the guy Ace Steel who's throwing a chair in the room and bit Kenny Omega.
Ace Steel gonna stop them from talking.
And bit Kenny Omega.
Ace Steel gonna stop them from talking.
I mean, throwing a chair might do that.
Ace Steel? First of all, Ace Steel, the great Ace Steel, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
People shit on Ace Steel. Who would kill your parents to have a fucking friend like Ace Steel? Don't know what the fuck's going on, but I know they near my boy and it's the outnumbered. I'm throwing a chair and I'm biting people.
That's how you would react if I had the Young Bucks came in my locker room. That's how you would react.
If you are first, remember his wife's in there too, Ace Steel's wife. So you're in there. You just shadowed these two dummies. Now I come back wherever the fuck I come at. These two niggas is in your face like such, and I come in. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yes, chair is the first move. I'm not gonna bite anybody. I don't know what this nigga's got. But the chair is the first move.
Moving on swiftly. Right after that one, I'm glad you added that. Super Chisholm, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always, we appreciate the support.
You prick.
Will says Nick Khan is like, sorry, Mercedes, we got Julia and a hole, a whole bunch. Of Japanese women we fitting to work with for the cheap, and they good. Sorry, Vince, no blanc.
Work for the cheap is crazy.
Hey, you know, Julia got like that discount. Rossi was like, oh, and I get EO and Kyrie to come to my new company. Oh yeah, Julia for $5. Yes.
No shit. Yeah, you know Nick Khan. He might be nicer than Vince, but nobody reaches that level in any business without being a fucking killer, a murderer on the highest order. You give him $5, he would. By the way, she's gorgeous looking, Julia.
Yeah, she is. Right. Italian and Japanese.
Oh, exotic. It's a ditty. I'm curious if she does.
Keep going with those comments in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. We'll highlight as many as we can, and those super chats, of course, for sure. But we got to talk about AEW Dynamite this week. Last night's show took place from where? Indianapolis, Indiana. What did you think about the crowd last night? I think this was the best crowd since Toronto.
How many people were in there?
I want to say 2,500, 3,000. Yeah.
They were fucking fantastic. It's the loudest 25 people fucking ever. Jesus.
I was like, man, this ain't even a slave state. And we kick off the show with the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley, making his return to All Elite Wrestling, fresh off his victory over Tetsuya Naito in Chicago at NJPW Windy City Riot. Moxley made his way through the crowd to a massive ovation, even stopping to sign a quick autograph for a fan. Moxley gets in the ring and he says one of the first titles he ever won was at a Salvation Army here in Indiana 20 years ago. Always swimming upstream, many people told Moxley what he could and couldn't do, but his reaction to those is the same then as it is now. Kiss his ass. Being great isn't about what other people say. It's about what's in your heart. Moxley shows off his new title. We get "You Deserve It" chants, and he puts over the history of this championship and his journey to get it, how he's been going after this title for the past 5 years, and he never thought that the IWGP title would be brought to Dynamite, and it all comes down to how deep are you willing to go to show that's what AEW is all about. Then he brings up the Don Callis family, who has been getting under his skin. He says that Callis himself is a creep. He talks about them putting a target on Bryan Danielson's back and putting a hit out on him on Collision, meaning that they put a target on his back as well. Moxley said for them to come and find him, as he'll be here all night. Moxley could run them over in the parking lot, bash them in the head with a tire iron from behind, but they wouldn't learn anything. Therefore, Moxley wants the biggest and the baddest from the Don Callis family, and he calls out Powerhouse Hobbs. He says to meet him one-on-one next week in the main event. Hobbs will accept, but he'll learn just how out of his depth he is, as he'll be dragged to the deepest waters and he'll not see a shoreline. Moxley says that Hobbs will know the difference between Mox and himself and realize Don Callis has been feeding him lies, and Hobbs will realize that there will only ever be one Jon Moxley. It was confirmed later in the night. It is official for the main event next week in Jacksonville, AEW Dynamite. It will be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley one-on-one with Powerhouse Hobbs of the Don Callis family. Jimmy, what did you think about Moxley's opening promo here? I guess Jimmy left. Oh, no, there you go.
Let's fuck. I'll focus on negative first. What the fuck are we talking about next week? We're 5 minutes into the show. We're 5 minutes into the show.
How did I know that was going to be your dick pic?
Like, what the fuck? This couldn't wait? He couldn't threaten Hobbs and then fucking, whatever.
He could have made it for the pay-per-view, to be fair. I was like, why you didn't make that for the pay-per-view? That's a nice pay-per-view match.
Yeah, whatever. This Mox underrated on the mic. Have you not been listening? You never listened to what we've been saying for 5 years now? The best 2-minute promo in the business and a very good promo otherwise. Moxley is fantastic when he's talking. Matches, listen, you all love him. Maybe hit or miss. But on the mic, he's fucking fantastic. And this was another one in his catalog. It's probably not in his top 30 AEW promos, but it's really good. That's fine. What it needed to be. He felt like a star again. I'm not entirely sure what the difference was.
The title.
He was in his title.
It's the title. It is. I was like, yo, this could have. I was like, when he came out with the title, I was like, yeah, this feels like a Moxley that I could have around for a few months and not be annoyed by him because he feels like an absolute star with that title.
Yes, you might be right. The clothes though, he's dressed in not pajamas. I'm not sure what the fuck he wears. And
he went clean bald as well. That's a good look too. For him.
Fucking head, sir. You look ridiculous. It's over. What I'm gonna say. Yes, my favorite Jon Moxley is the post-Punk match, the first match they had, the 2-minute match from Weak Ego, Weak Body, that one. He's like, holy shit, this guy's a monster. I fucking love this guy. And he
always, like, he may be, like, when he has the title, it's just a different Moxley. Like, when he was world champion, Same thing. Like it's just a different vibe. Like he just personifies world champion when he has the title.
I'm glad some stuff is back. Listen, is another title in AEW? Yes, but I'll take it. This one's important. It's ugly as all fuck, but it is important.
Just have legacy. It is important. and him having the title feels like if he has a title and he's going to show up. Not probably every week, but a little often. That is probably the longest build we've gotten to a Forbidden Door ever by having a NJPW champion on the show. I know you don't like Forbidden Door, but I'm just saying it helps that as well.
Yes.
We got Annika in the chat who says, I feel like Danielson and Moxley be having a holiness when TK does something stupid and they got to come back and clean crap up.
Right? Right? Can this nigga never just not be here for a little while? What the fuck?
I was like, oh god, you really need me. And Tony was at Windy City Riot to watch him win the championship, so he probably asked him right after the match, like,
yes,
hey John, we're come back on Wednesday. We need you. You need to restore the feeling. Can that holla bling? That can only mean one thing. It's Tony Khan on John Moxley's phone.
Fucking big man dog, me too. I was like, I think he should keep the belt. I just think he should. I love Punk, but I think he should Moxley the belt. I think he should keep the belt. Sorry.
It was like that. Or it should have been a longer build. Like you have Moxley win at All Out, and then Punk can win it back at Full Gear, something like that.
I've been fine. Those two feuding. That was fucking fantastic. For as short as it was.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite short-term feuds. Punk's been a part of two of my all-time favorite short-term feuds in wrestling history: Kingston and Moxley. That might be like top 5 all-time short-term feuds. Next up, we go backstage to the aforementioned Mercedes Moné. She's backstage and she brings up how someone attacked her in the dark because they are afraid to face her in the light. Moné always gets back up and can't wait to pay back the bitch who attacked her last week. Lights Off sounds a little too familiar, Julia Hart. It sounds like someone who doesn't want to face her at Double or Nothing. Moné says that she is putting the entire women's division on notice and said that she'll be watching Hart and Willow Nightingale's match at Dynasty. And she says that everyone must remember there's a price to pay when you mess with Mercedes Moné.
This was probably the best she's been naturally.
Yes, it really was, because it came off like a heel again. It's just natural. She just naturally comes off like a heel. It's ridiculous. It's like, yo, AEW, are we watching the same thing? Like, this is the most obvious. This is the most obvious heel turn or person to turn heel I think I've ever seen.
Yes, it's jarring. Listen, I don't know who she is as a person. I don't know who Triple H or Randy Orton or Ric Flair or Edge is as a person. That's not my issue. You're a fucking heel. It is what it is. And Mercedes is in that fucking group. Sorry. It's just so much better. It's shocking. I think she's more comfortable too, because when she's the babyface, it feels so robotic. It's like, ma'am, you stop the script for a second and focus on what the fuck you're trying to do. It is what it is. Listen, not much longer. It can't be much longer.
It can't be. You can't do this actual build to Double or Nothing. If it's really Willow versus Mercedes, you cannot think that them doing a babyface versus babyface program is going to work. I refuse to think that. I know how y'all feel about Tony Khan. I refuse to think even he is as dumb as that. It's been 4 years, dude. Like you said this like 2 years ago that we couldn't say, oh, Tony Khan was new anymore. Like, you can't act new anymore either. Like, you cannot fool me and think that this is working.
Very true. I'm hoping this attack turns out to be a swerve. I can't imagine she It's got to be the babyface too. It just can't be. If it's Statlander there, and then there's too many things at play here. I'm concerned. You have more faith than I do.
I think it is Stat. I think it has to be Stat. That's the only one that makes
it feel though.
I no, it doesn't. But I think that they are. I mean, I think that Stat's going to be the heel in that rivalry
with Willow, certainly.
But I'm saying no. Stat is turning heel in the rivalry of Willow versus Mercedes, so that there is a heel in play. I don't know if she's going to be involved in the matchup, but she's going to be involved in the story as the antagonist.
Oh my God, Mercedes staying a heel in the babyface. Sorry. You just sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's very awful idea, but I don't see how we're getting around that. So,
hire Booker.
I mean that is. I mean, hey, Paulie will take the money. I'm sure.
He'll definitely take the money. We show up to work. Show up with WTP right after.
I'm a Paul Levesque guy. We got a super chat donation from Will Chisholm. He says, Kenny looked like maybe I should have went to WWE for a year and not be loyal to the Bucks. LOL.
SP3 told me that was maybe the case. And I think he was saying it to make me feel better. I felt worse afterwards, distinctly so. Listen, I appreciate your loyalty to your friends and to what you built and the concern. I assume Vince is still there at the moment, right?
Yeah.
That's always I don't care who you say is booking. I know Vince is there, so I'll see you in a couple years. Let's see how it goes. There's still time. He's relatively young. I think he's 40.
Yeah. He probably re-signed for 3 years, 5 years, maybe.
Jesus, big ass
gap. We'll see.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Thank you for the super chat. Will, as always, our big supporter here on the channel. We appreciate you, good sir. Yes, the legendary super chat there by Will Chisholm. But yes, TBS champion Julia Hart and Brody King of the House of Black were up next in a mixed tag team matchup against Willow Nightingale and TNT champion Adam Copeland. Unfortunately, before the matchup started, we got a nice little attack backstage as Willow Nightingale has also been attacked in a similar fashion to Mercedes Moné. We see Stokely Hathaway, a doctor, and Chris Statlander checking on her. Nightingale says that she's fine and tried to get up as the cameras cut away to Copeland. The lights went out and House of Black attacked. Brody King brings Copeland to the floor and does a huge running crossbody into the barricade on Copeland. I was like, poor Copeland, you're too old to be taking stuff like that, in my opinion. He gets back into the ring, and this is basically a singles match for most of this matchup. Copeland and Brody King going at it in a very hard physical affair. Copeland laying in the strikes on Brody King, not even laying back one bit, and Brody King is always hard hitting in his offense. Willow Nightingale would eventually make her way down to the ring. She made the hot tag. She tried to go after Julia Hart, but Julia Hart went to the floor. She started hitting moves on Brody King. She hit a big one big cross body and then hit the woo senton into the corner. And then while the referee was trying to get Copeland and King out of the ring, Julia Hart comes in with a steel chain. She blasts Willow Nightingale in the back of the head and then locks on the Heartless for the victory here to give the House of Black the win. After the matchup, the referee tries to get Julia Hart off of Willow Nightingale, but she keeps on the submission until the music of Mercedes Moné, the CEO, storms to the ring with a steel chair. Julia Hart quickly runs out of the ring. I love the smile on Julia's face as she walked, as she ran away from Mercedes. I was like such a heel. And Mercedes making the save for her former rival, Willow Nightingale, and then having a handshake and showing some respect to a former WWE alumni like her in Adam Copeland. What did you think about the mixed tag team matchup here and the post-match with Mercedes?
Match was really good. Edge is what Edge is, and Brody King is underutilized. There's a lot of people could say that about AEW. Brody King would be towards the top of my list, probably behind Ricky Starks and Eddie Kingston. Oh, Jay White.
Jay White is number one on my list.
Poor bastard. Yeah, Brody's fucking fantastic. And this match showed me that. I wouldn't mind a program between Edge and Brody, please. And thank you. As for the Mercedes stuff and the Willow stuff. Oh, I don't mind Willow attacking Brody King. I said last week that who was the Annika? Wanted them to lock up. Oh my God. Stop watching movies. Brody King would throw her into the next state. But attacks while he's not paying attention or he's off balance is fine. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I assume
her bringing back the barking was great.
Julia hurt?
Huh?
Julia's hurt?
Hey, that's what made me think with how this match was laid out. It made me think like she's either hurt or they're saving her for the pay-per-view. Like she's just healthy enough to make the pay-per-view, but they didn't want to risk it. We'll know at the pay-per-view, because if she is hurt, I'm guessing it's going to be like a 10-second matchup.
A Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter situation?
Yeah.
Oh, shoulder injury. Yeah. I could see that.
Oh, yeah. The shoulder. Yeah, she hurt her shoulder on Rampage. I forgot. Yeah, it was a matchup with Layla Hirsch. She hurt her shoulder and they rushed to the finish. She just does like a small package. And then the referee in the post-match goes to raise her hand that hurt. And she's like, no. And she kept it down the whole entire time.
God, Jesus. She's looks like Mercedes. She's a very small person.
But this is just it feels like this is another instant of a long-term a champion in AEW who holds it for a couple of months getting hurt at the end of their reign.
Goddamn shame.
Jamie Hayter, MJF, Kenny Omega, CM Punk when he got the title. It's like that's why you should give all the titles to Moxley. He never gets hurt.
Because he's got great blood flow. He's always the old and bringing in the new.
Exactly. He gets rid of that old blood.
Oh, Thunder Rosa.
Fresh bones. Yes, Thunder Rosa. Like it's a lot of them. Britt Baker was probably on her deathbed at the end of her run, and that's why we got the 2023 that we got from her.
Yeah, but yeah, she's hurt. I expect the match to go pretty quickly. I don't mind the way this match played out. I like Mercedes making the save, if you can call it that, though she doesn't seem to know what to do besides smirk. Because that's what heels do. She can't help it. I don't think there's a proper reaction for what's going on right now, lady. Whatever. When Edge looks at her and Mercedes drops the chair, she starts cackling like an evil villain.
I just helped you. Why are you dropping the chair like you was about to do something bad? Like what?
Okay, maybe she'll turn heel and this will all make sense. Best case scenario is she was never attacked. Her and Statlander played this whole thing out. Wins for everybody. But
and basically, we can have Mercedes replace Willow in the Stokely Statlander group, and then Stokely can do her promos.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Chris LeClaire. Julia Hart is 5'7", 149 pounds. No to all of that. No to all of that. Not even close. Not even close. You don't know what 149 pounds looks like if you think she's 5'7", 149.
We have Renee Paquette backstage. She is sitting down with AEW World Champion Samoa Joe, who said that Swerve Strickland is more of a nuisance than a worthy adversary. No matter how many times he puts Strickland in the dirt, he keeps rising up, which reminds him more of a punching bag than a future world champion. Paquette talked about how Strickland and Prince Nana were holding up the AEW title last week, and Joe says that he was worried about how his title needed to be disinfected after last week. He wasn't worried. He says, we know where Nana has been, right? Joe called Strickland a choke artist who always comes close to winning the big one, but always seems to come up short. History will repeat itself once again at Dynasty, as Samoa Joe will cement his legacy as the greatest AEW World Champion of all time. Because Strickland is a choke artist, but at Dynasty, Joe will be the one to choke him out. That was a great final line.
Joe's fucking amazing.
He's another one. They're just putting a title on him. Any title Joe has had, he's looked like an absolute. It's like raised his star power and his value to the company. Anytime they put TNT title, Ring of Honor TV title, and the AEW World title, he's made it something.
It's just natural. He should lose his belt and then go away to there's another belt available.
Until there's another belt available. Oh, you're ready for me? Okay, let me go. Let me sit in the line at the DFD. He's like, oh, international titles up. All right. Oh man, it's so true. It's so true, though. We got in the chat here. What? Why are we just naming people's height in the chat? Like,
I love that. I looked it up. Julia Hart was 5'7", 149 pounds. Sorry, I want you to use your own eyes. Watch her stand next to Mercedes or somebody. She's not 149 fucking pounds. I'm sorry. She just isn't.
Big Man Dog says, no, wait, I was wrong. WWE claimed Johnny Gonzalez was 8 foot tall. Homer, Jimmy cooking, Mercedes Jordan. That was my idea. Why are you giving Jimmy credit for my idea? Mercedes joining Stat and Stokely. I'm cooking. Jesus. I don't like that. The video package is shown briefly for FTR versus the Young Bucks at Dynasty. When Matthew and Nicholas Jackson interrupt, they say that they TV time is very valuable nowadays, so they don't have time to play that video. So Matthew and Nicholas Jackson called Tony Khan, who is sitting right there backstage, to cut the video package short. It's not up to their liking, and said they'll put it up on social media and cut it off. Nicholas said that tonight they'll beat up FTR's buddy Daniel Garcia, while Kazuchika Okada called Pac a dead man. And then the Elite walk off as they make their entrance. We get the elevator entrance from the Bucks. We get the coin drop and the entrance from Okada posing in the ring. And their opponents, of course, is Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Penta El Zero Mero. Red Death Triangle, as it was coined on social media. And this was your prototypical multi-man house party type of matchup that AEW does very, very well, and the Elite do very, very well. The crowd was very much invested into this one, especially with the babyface side. They were very into Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia's anytime he got the dance, he gave him a big pop. And even this part, which was kind of Ayo. Every time he does it, I always say Ayo. Started at Revolution. I've been saying it ever since. But the hilarity in this matchup happened after the commercial break. As we came back from a commercial break, and Matthew Jackson was doing running commentary on the house mic. As Daniel Garcia was making his comeback, he calls for Nicholas Jackson to give him the tag. He tells Garcia to stay down on the mic, and then Garcia picks him up for a suplex. He says, please put me down. And then he suplexes him, and he tosses the mic. Pat comes in for the hot tag. He runs wild. Big springboard missile drop kick. We get the big face-off between Pat and Okada going at it, giving us a little preview for AEW Dynasty. However, it is Daniel Garcia who makes the run in, comes in. He hits a big corner kick from the Bucks, stumbles into a tombstone from Okada, and then we get a big triple team as we get the double super kicks from the Bucks, followed by the Rainmaker by Okada on Daniel Garcia to give the Elite the victory here. I thought this was a great matchup, super fun trios bout that had the crowd invested the entire time. Post-match, we get Garcia suffering an EVP trigger for good measure. Then the Bucks bring in a ladder because that is their specialty. They said that in the pre-match that's their matchup, and they plan on becoming 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champions in it. They slam Garcia on the ladder. They then sandwich him in the ladder. Matthew goes to the top rope when Pac pulls out the ring bell mic. A nice little callback to his rivalry in the Best of 7 series with the Elite last year, as he runs off Okada and the Bucks and stands tall in the ring. And then it was announced later in the show that on Saturday's Collision, the go-home show to AEW Dynasty 1 day later, it's going to be the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, and the Young Bucks versus Pac and FTR. That should be one hell of a match as well. What did you think about this trios bout?
Before I get into that, I have a question. Is there a kayfabe reason why Tony Khan lets them get away with this?
They're the EVPs.
Yeah, the VP is the most important part. He's the P. Why is he letting them get away with this?
Do they have power?
That's not how any type of corporate governance ever works, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Not even in AEW.
That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works here.
They're his equals.
Yeah, apparently so.
So the answer is no. There is no kayfabe reason for why he lets them get away with this.
They're his equal.
It's the same reason as the real life reasons.
You said it. You said it. They're his equals.
That's not how VPs work.
Hey,
it's VP. You know what the V stands for?
I know what the V. I know what the V stands for. Do we believe that everyone watching does know the definition of EVP? No, I don't. I don't think so.
V stands for vice. Yes.
I don't think so. But go ahead.
Like that fucking stupid.
I mean, okay.
Okay, like I said, they might be going for like a real life thing where he's not a boss. You know, he's a pushover, like he is in real life. So he just lets them do whatever he wants. Fair enough. Hey, use reality. I'm not mad at it. Jesus. All right. I didn't want to turn this to a shitty Tony Khan session. There's plenty of time for that. We'll get to it. Match was good. If you enjoy these types of things, I was enjoying it before the break. When we came back from the break, Matt Jackson had a microphone. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? He's The Rock now? What the fuck is this shit? This is aimed towards me. I apologize, Tony Khan. I apologize. No more shitting on Matt Jackson as long as you promise never have him fucking do commentary during a match. I promise not to shit on him if you promise not to give him a microphone. Fair? Fair? We'll be fair. That's fine.
Should have done a code of honor. Should have done a code of honor.
It is what it is. This is what it is. I don't really care about either of these two feuds going into the pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I don't care about any of these feuds outside of Swerve and Joe, the whole Willow situation, and that's it, really. I'm going to watch Dragon Ospreay at some point this year, I imagine, but yeah, sorry.
I actually think they've done a good job of creating some type of issue between FTR and the Young Bucks outside of them just being in the finals of the tag team title tournament. But I will agree that they could have done better with both of these feuds of increasing interest in it. Even though it did sound like that Indianapolis crowd did want to see Pac and Okada go at it with each other. But that's more or less because they're two great wrestlers, not because it's a rivalry that's been built up well.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't have the energy to shit on it. I just don't care. Sorry. I had a whole Indianapolis joke in my head. I was like, fuck it, it's not worth it.
Frantic Rail says Matt Jackson did that spot just for Jimmy.
I get those vibes. And I don't know why. I watch your fucking program every week. Why am I being punished? I'm doing my fucking job.
Hey, it was entertaining as hell for me. I enjoyed all of this.
Fucking serious?
I enjoyed all of this. I did. I thought the match was great. I enjoyed Matt Jackson on commentary because he got his one comeuppance because he's a heel and a goofball, and he got suplex for it. I enjoyed it. Next we get. I think we had like a segment where they showed somebody in the crowd, but I didn't care to write the note for that. Then we get Taz has brokered a meeting between Chris Jericho and Hook. Chris Jericho comes out. I will give him credit for the subtle change of not letting Jericho come out to Judas anymore because he's going heel. We get him making his entrance to boos while Hook received loud cheers from the crowd. Taz said that he's just there to make sure things go nice and easy, and he gives the floor to Chris Jericho, who once again is very loudly booed. Jericho says last week, Shibata was just collateral damage, as he felt Hook wasn't listening to him as much as he should have. Jericho kept bringing up the learning tree, as he is now referring to himself as the learning tree. And everyone who has listened to his pearls of wisdom has come out the better for it. He says MJF, Orange Cassidy, and fucking Kingston? Are you kidding me? John Moxley? Ospreay? He says everyone who has entered the Jericho vortex has left better on the other side. Jericho brought up Wizard Mountain, which got absolute crickets. and he brought up the learning tree again, and he says that he wants Hook to stand under the branches of his learning tree. Hook simply answers no, which makes him the smartest person in the room. He doesn't need Jericho's help, as Jericho told him not to be stupid. Taz tried to intervene, but Jericho cuts him off and says he's doing something Taz should have done 30 years ago and give this kid some guidance. He's not 30 years old, Chris. Taz kept trying to interject, but Jericho said that Hook has had people telling him he's a future world champion, just like this guy, and he's not as good as he thinks he is. Taz tries to step in once again, and Jericho shoves him down. Excalibur reminds us that Taz has been dealing with knee issues, and that's why he's hunched over like he just ran a 5-mile marathon. The crowd chanted, "You fucked up," chants at Jericho. It took Hook wildly too long, in my opinion, to step up to Jericho here, but he does. Hook grabs Jericho by the shirt, pushes him into the corner, and he says that he'll show Jericho how good he is. He says that anytime, anywhere, he tells Jericho that he wants another match with him, and then he tells Jericho to get out of his ring. Jericho slowly steps out of the ring and up the ramp, and it was announced later in the show for the FTW Championship, Hook will defend against Chris Jericho this Sunday, AEW Dynasty. Any thoughts on this segment? Ironically enough, despite me not into this whole angle, this whole story at all at this point, I do have to also be a reviewer and analyze a show. This was the best segment they've done together.
Oh, well, for relative ease, that's not hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard, but in a vacuum, this was entertaining. If I wasn't totally done with everyone in this feud and wanted them to all move on.
This is the best Jericho in a long while. He kind of gets, or at least he's acting like he gets, what's going on. He's talking with Jericho Vortex. Now everybody came out better on the other side. He's a heel. He's obviously lying.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hook was the weakest part of this for me with relative ease. First of all, his dad gets pushed. We don't even cut to Hook, who should be looking furious at this point. He takes forever to come out of the fucking corner. When he comes out the corner, he's not upset. He looks more annoyed that he's got to come out the corner than anything else. Then he fucking talks. He's not great at that part either. This is... Sorry, we're not playing to our people's strengths. Hook shouldn't talk. Maybe ever. She should just fucking judo threw Chris to the ground. Not hurt him, just put him on his ass and said, leave. Done.
Yes.
Dusted. Leave.
And then you just make the match. Yeah. That's what you do. I mean, that's all they needed to do, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just this feud is not over. It's this story is not over. It's another fucking Jericho rivalry that starts with him losing. How many Jericho rivalries have we had him lose the matchup way too quickly into the rivalry, and then the rivalry keeps going?
Right.
Eddie Kingston, Ricky Starks, there's 4 or 5 people now. They win the matchup very early on, and then Jericho winds up winning the fucking rivalry.
He's definitely winning on Saturday, I would imagine.
Yeah, but imagine.
Probably should.
He probably should. Yeah, he probably should. He probably should at this point. Either you this is being used to facilitate Hook getting away from the FTW Championship, or the little note that commentary said where they said when Hook was coming to the ring, there's only 2 guys ever who have held the FTW Championship on 2 occasions. It's Hook and Taz. This is probably going to have Jericho win for Hook to win it back and become the first ever 3-time FTW champion.
Get rid of these fucking belts. I'm sorry. Enough of this shit. What the fuck? I was complaining about this to Sid on SP3 the other day, and he's telling me, it's not recognized by AEW. Isn't it? It was putting the thing on the fucking thing and saying FTW change. That's not recognition. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, get rid of all these fucking belts. Sorry.
It's true, also true. We got Big Van Dice says Hook is not a good promo or actor.
He is not. You don't have to have Goldberg talk. There's no reason for it. Fear Jackhammer. Let's go home.
Very true. It's very true. We got you, my boy Blue, in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. He says Hook was thinking about all the times his daddy beat his ass before he stepped up to Jericho. He had to give him. Yeah, okay, if that's your logic, I respect it. I respect, because you would imagine 98, 99 Taz was whooping his little boy's ass.
Or maybe if you want to do something less violent, Jesus. He wanted to give his dad a chance to fight for himself. His dad's a grown ass man. Doesn't want to embarrass his father, so his dad is hurt. All right, I'll take care of it.
Yeah. See that part. We kind of have came up with different reasons why he took so long to come out the corner. But the talking part, you need to limit it. But it seems like they're giving him more opportunity, or do the promos like the one he did in the snow when he's eating the slice of pizza. That was his best promo work. Like, do the pre-tapes. The pre-tapes seem to be his bag right now. The live promo in the ring, not so much.
Agreed.
Renee Paquette is backstage now with the number one contender for the AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland. He wanted his reaction. Renee wanted his reaction to what Samoa Joe had to say, calling him a choke artist. Strickland questioned if Renee thinks that Swerve is a choke artist, and Renee denied. Huh?
Put me in this. That's so fucked up.
I did think that too. I was like, why Renee? Why you gotta put Renee in this? Why you gotta put her in the middle? Renee says that no, and Strickland agrees, saying that he's always fallen forward to success. He says over the past year, he's fallen into a coffin, stapled his body. He said he's got his body stapled. He had his body thrown into barbed wire. He's been knocked in the face with a chain just a couple of weeks back, but he's always got back up because it's his military upbringing. Joe can call Strickland anything he wants, but this Sunday, Joe will be calling him new AEW World Champion. He said he gets up and he looks into the camera, taking off his jacket, taking off his hat, and he says that he'll tell Joe why he's so confident that he's walking out with that title to his face tonight. That was a nice little hook to give us for the end of the show. And once he said that, I was like, this is a wise decision. I thought we were just going to get the promos tonight to build to the main event. I was like, no, keep your best thing in the open or the close every week. And they did it again.
Agreed. Solid.
Next up, we get the AEW Women's Division here early at like, what was this, 9:05? This is pretty early.
Yeah, not quite that early, like 9:10.
Okay, 5 minutes. You couldn't give him the 5 minutes. Fair enough. Deonna Purrazzo going one-on-one with Mariah May. Mariah May with timeless Toni Storm and Luther in her corner. I actually enjoyed this matchup here. Deonna Purrazzo with more of like the technical, methodical style, but Mariah May just makes everybody into a hard-hitting matchup. Like, if she breaks out, everybody just has to lay in their strikes, because if you're in a match with Mariah May, please believe she's going to lay in hers, so you better lay in yours. Great floats over a powerbomb attempt, sending Purrazzo into the corner. She hits Sweet Cheeks music. She then follows up with a spinning DDT for a 2 count. Mariah gets her up on her shoulders for Mayday, but Deonna Purrazzo is able to reverse into a sunset flip flash pin for the victory here. Deonna Purrazzo beating Mariah May, only her second singles loss since arriving in AEW. Post-match, though, timeless Toni Storm immediately hits the ring to attack her former friend Deonna when Thunder Rosa, oh my God, you want to talk about someone who did not slow down going to the ring? Completely wiped out Luther. Oh my God, did she floor Luther? She was like a ram. Like, she just boom and just knocked him on his ass. Gets into the ring. She takes care of Mariah May. Mariah May goes fighting off with Deonna Purrazzo. Thunder Rosa gets the better of timeless Toni Storm and gets a measure of revenge for last week, where timeless Toni Storm wiped the face paint off of her face. This time it's Thunder Rosa putting lipstick all over the mug of timeless Toni Storm, and Toni was none too pleased in the post-match here. I thought this was a nice little post-match angle to add something to the women's title match coming up this Sunday at AEW Dynasty. Between Collision, the promo on Collision, and this, I was like, thank you for finally building to this matchup. I appreciate it.
This is the best they booked on the Rosa, maybe since Bridge, definitely. She felt like a star. She came out. First of all, she flattens Luther. I'm not sure what she hit him with. Top of her fucking head. She go through his chest, and shit like it hurt. And Luther was not feeling well afterwards.
Yo, she was like a linebacker. That was some linebacker shit. Yo, she did not slow down.
I would avoid him on the way out, ma'am. He might. That was fucking dope. It just looked great. Then Strong on. She just felt, I don't know, important.
The energy, her energy was different. Yeah.
Her cutting generic babyface promos on a ramp, I'm gonna pass on that. But her doing shit, it felt like, oh yeah, right. I do like Thunder Rosa. As far as the match went, the match was good. Mariah is fun. Deonna is not a babyface, but the match was fun. She did stop doing this on the ramp.
Yes.
But
see, Tony Khan watches the Ramble. It's like they're making note of this on Thursday. So
you're still dressed like Ric Flair, ma'am, and you turn. Man, like you're a heel on the highest order.
Your pose is this.
Yeah, this was good overall. I must say, as awful as the Mercedes stuff has been, and as all over the places the booking's been in general, compared to where the women's division was a year ago, I've been impressed with this consistent booking. Several feuds going on at once. There's always at least 2 feuds going on a show. I'm impressed, I must say.
Yeah. We're always getting multiple women's segments now, so it is refreshing that they're not perfect. No, I don't think any company is ever going to be perfect. So we could just get that out of our heads, but it is definitely progression, and I can appreciate that.
Very true.
We also got here Chucko Sage. He says, "Where the fuck have you been, Thunder Rosa? Good to see her like this again." Yes, that was 2020, 2021 Thunder Rosa right there.
Very
hopefully we get that Thunder Rosa with the timeless Tony Storm that found her working boots on Saturday, and we can have a great match on Sunday. Here's hoping, because I think that's what the women's division really needs now. It needs like a big breakout match, a match that people are going to be talking about, like not in the similar vein, but at least on like a close enough level to how they talked about Britt and Thunder Rosa.
Ooh, well, that could be Mercedes and
Willow. Yeah, it could be, but it would be nice to have it early with Thunder and Tony, because that's what Tony's title reign needs. It needs a damn good match.
Does it?
It does.
Does it though? What's the difference?
It does.
It's a great match, and then what?
It does. It will change the perception on her title. Her title reign has basically been promos and good character work and not much else.
That's all it needs to be. This is not about. I don't understand this logic. This is not about anybody else. This is about Tony. Tony's who did Rhea's reign help? Who's a kiss a fuck? Help Rhea. That's what helped, motherfucker. I don't get this. Who did Austin build? It's not important. He built Steve Austin, motherfucker. That's who he built. What you mean? It's about
Austin
me.
also had great matches.
Well, he's Steve Austin. I'm not comparing him.
Roman had great matches. Roman gave us good character work, good promo work, and he was having great matches.
He's Roman. Can you not name people in the top 10 all time? Is anybody outside the top 10 ever? I'm just saying.
Orange Cassidy. He had a great title reign. He had a great title reign.
What happened?
They didn't follow up, but they can't deny the title reign. Hey, they didn't follow up with the character work, but the character work and the title reign was good. One Mike Nation says, I give props that it's clear after Dynasty there's women's feuds to follow up with. Mercedes, Julia, Willow, Thunder, Deonna, Tony, and Mariah. I think they might do the triple threat that we were talking about like a month ago at probably Double or Nothing. Because it still seems like we're building that with the little interaction, because Thunder got mad at Deonna last week for helping her. Then this week, Thunder helps her. They got the little back and forth. I love Thunder saying, I didn't come out to help you. I came out for me. I love that. I was like, yo, that is not a heel thing to say. That is a badass babyface. I like that.
Hey, this is not about you, man.
It's not about you.
Was Deonna cost at the pay-per-view by accident?
Ooh. I didn't think about that. That's a good shout. I would love that. That would help this build as well.
Agreed. We're gonna do this triple threat. Let's do it. Fuck it.
And then it would also, if they do the triple threat and do it in that way, it would feel like one big build for Double or Nothing, because you could take what's been going on since January with Deonna coming in with Tony, that whole build to Revolution. It's kind of gone in naturally into the Thunder Rosa because Deonna picked her to go against Mariah and Tony, and then Thunder gets the win to become number one contender. And then it goes into the triple threat. It feels like one fleshed out story for the first 5 months in the women's title scene.
When is Double or Nothing? May what?
The end of May, like May 26th, something like that.
Yeah, we can make it work. Sure.
Yeah, there's still things there. Alexander said you still have Deeb trying to get a title shot. That is true. That's another story in the women's division. Over on Collision, you have Deeb challenged Yuka Sakazaki, who just made her return, and she wants to face her to build up because she wants a title shot.
She's trying to climb the rankings that don't matter.
Yep.
Good job. Stupid.
She made a little line about she's the professor of professional wrestling. And that one's copyrighted. Copyrighted. I like when she said that. I was like, good job, D. That's a reaction to something in WWE that is so vague and so quick, no one even noticed.
Indeed.
We also, see, I was right. The 26. Thank you, Stephen Chambers. We got Eric Isis who says, I think that Deonna and Rosa will feud, and Tony drops the belt to Jamie Hayter. I don't know.
I don't have some.
Yeah. Eric Isaac, we need news that Jamie Hayter is on her way back in some fashion.
What we're talking about. Why does that recovery take us so goddamn long? This is insane. The fuck? Probably she's still calling doctors.
And she had a shoulder injury, and I still got people telling me Rhea Ripley going to be back in 2 months. I don't think so. These shoulder injuries are different.
Yeah, well, we got professionals over here.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I've already told you.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a part of the WWE now. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Paul Heyman with Paul Levesque, guys.
I'm gonna tell every bad thing you've ever said about him now. Renee McMahon says is backstage with the ROH 6-man tag team champion Switchblade Jay White and the Guns of Bullet Club Gold, and they tell her that they sound more excited to be around the Bang Bang Gang. White says that they've been having a blast the past few months and said that they fulfill their destiny at AEW Dynasty as the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass have what they want. So they say that they want an AEW World Trios titles versus ROH 6-man tag team titles at Dynasty. Winner takes all, and everyone can only hope that's the end of this rivalry. We then hear from the Acclaim and Daddy Ass after the commercial break, and they said that it's nice to know the Bang Bang Gang's intentions are now clear. They accept their challenge. Bowens talks about his own gold bat to choke on, talking about Jay White. And then Caster says that he is Twink Blade, which is never going to get over, sir. You said it before. No one laughed. So you can stop saying it. And then he makes a tag team challenge for the Acclaim versus the Guns one more round this Saturday on Collision. And it is made official. Bullet Club Gold versus the Acclaim. AEW World Trios Championships versus ROH World 6-man tag team titles. Title for title. Winner takes all. AEW Dynasty 0 hour.
What the fuck? Holy shit. How is a double title? Like not even, and I'm not even going to talk about the feuds. Like not even talk about the feuds. How is a double title match not on your main card, but a title that is not recognized by your company is on the main card? My guess, well, they hate Jay White. That's number one. Number two, there's already a 6-man on the card. Maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Why that 6-man's on the card, I don't know. But there is a 6-man on the card.
Also true.
There's really no excuse for this. This is a heinous idea. Like, first of all, JY should be on pay-per-view is number one. Number two, it's a big match. A title match, double title match even. Why do we sit through all of it? It's going to be a 0 hour. I don't understand.
You've been building this rivalry for 4 months. Like, Hook and Jericho started like a month ago. You've been building this one for 4 months. Like that. I'm just like very much questioning the logic. Like, there's no logic at all. Is what I'm getting at.
Perhaps Jericho has it in his contract
that he has to be on the pay-per-view.
He's got like a Hulk Hogan-esque, where Hogan had to be the main event. Maybe he's got like one of them. Well, he's not main event, but on the main card. So
This is now 3 shows in a row where Jericho nonsensically is on the main card. 3 pay-per-view.
He gets cut a pay-per-view. I need my money. Thank you. Please and thank you.
I need my pay-per-view payday.
How bad is that contract looking already? How many more years we got to go?
I swear to God, he must have the Kevin Nash, Scott Hall clause. Like, that's where I'm at this point. Like, he's got to have ownership stake. I'm at that point now.
By the way, you hear what Kevin Nash had to say about Ospreay?
What?
That was a dumb decision not to go to WWE. Kevin Nash, by the way, criticizing somebody for less dates. I love you, Kev. I'm just saying, what the fuck?
Yo, dude, working. He working on his next payday. That's what he's working on. These guys are too obvious. These guys are too obvious with their grifting at this point.
Oh, not the grifting.
They are grifting. Bully Ray, come on. Bully Ray's not a grifter. He grifting got on WrestleMania. Like, we cannot deny when people are grifting successfully.
No. Saying something stinks and then being rewarded for saying something stinks does not mean that you said something stinks because you.
But not everything they say stinks. They're saying it and they don't even watch it. They're saying it stinks because that makes money. It makes money now.
This is outrageous. We've been doing this for forever. I've been saying this stinks for forever, and then we get paid to do it. I'm not saying because I get paid. I'm saying because it stinks. And I comment on Billy Ray. I've never seen it.
Yeah, you're not a grifter. That's very clear.
Yeah, because you know I believe it stinks. You don't know if he believes it stinks. Maybe he thinks it stinks. Have you ever considered that?
I know for a fact he said he doesn't watch it, but he can always give an opinion on it. I'm just saying, like this is my thing. Like, when I break stuff down like that, does that not sound like someone who is saying something because he knows he's getting something in return for it? That is grifting.
Maybe I can't count on Billy Ray.
Okay,
I've never seen Billy Ray stuff, so I can't count.
Fair enough. Yeah, you always lead me down this freaking rabbit hole.
You started it with the grifting. I'm defending people who say it stinks.
You're defending people that say it stinks, even though they're grifting.
No, they're saying what I'm saying, and I've come to my conclusions logically. So they've come to their conclusions.
No, they haven't. They probably watch you and just copy your opinion. Orange Cassidy 101 with Shane Taylor is next up. This one, commentary was just on my nerves in this matchup because they kept telling me that Shane Taylor and promotions are on a roll. They've won 1 match on AEW television. Like, that shit, this was a good matchup. Don't get me wrong. It was a good match. I like when, Taylor puts him in the corner and puts his hands in his pockets and then chops the shit out of him. That violent-sounding overhand chop. We get Cassidy firing back, but then Taylor takes the referee. The numbers game catches up to Cassidy, but eventually Cassidy fights back. He's able to hit a stun dog millionaire, then hits 2 dives on Anthony Ogogo as well as Moriarty on the floor. Taylor ducks the orange punch and levels Cassidy with a big comeback lariat for a 2 count. Taylor avoids the beach break, but Cassidy is able to hit 1 orange punch. Taylor answered back with a shot of his own, but then Cassidy hits a home run orange punch for the 1-2-3, but he can't celebrate for too long as Lee Moriarty and Anthony Ogogo hit the ring. They start beating down on Cassidy. A big left hand punch from Ogogo right to the ribs of Cassidy. Eventually, Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal come down to make the save for Orange Cassidy, but it is Trent Beretta who takes them out on the ramp, blasts Danielson in the face with a steel chair shot. Then he blasts Matt Sydal. He takes off his hoodie to reveal he's still wearing that damn Trent and Orange Win the Big One shirt, which I'm actually enjoying because he shows a good intensity as the heel so far because we haven't heard him say anything yet. But Shane Taylor promotion looking strong again despite taking the loss, laying out Orange Cassidy and then putting the Shane STP flag on top of his body. What did you think?
Why not have him win this fucking match? Why is the leader promotion losing with all this fucking help? This is so fucking stupid. I was so mad because I thought he was going to win and I could take them seriously for half a second.
I really wanted Trent to cause Orange to lose.
Simple. But whatever. Fucking dumb Negroes can't get anything done. We know Tony Khan thinks. Trent was fine. I don't care about the feud. I still don't. There's nothing they're going to do to make me care about it. Sorry. I was so mad when I saw this on the card, to be honest. I was like, I thought I was going to Orange Cassidy break, and I did not. So the Orange Cassidy and Jericho still fucking here. What the fuck? But whatever. At least it's on the card for pay-per-view that I'm not going to watch. Fantastic. All right. Anthony Ogogo. How do I say this nicely? It's over. Nice enough. Done. Sorry.
You're already over Anthony Ogogo being back.
It's been over for a while. Some things you can't. It's like Shockmaster. Some things you can't get past. Once you start that way, it's never gonna get fixed. You start with that Cody shit. You're always gonna be that Cody shit. I'm sorry. He's moved on to greener pastures. You're stuck with the awful shit he did to you. It's like your uncle when you were 7. Just he's moved on and you have not. You're stuck with therapy. Sorry to break the news to you.
No, big man dogs. Bubba Ray is not being lazy than grifting. When you grift, when you admit that you don't want something, but yet you always have opinions on it and can give booking suggestions that are outrageous and always bad, and then you turn around and you're on WWE and you're the special guest referee in one of the worst matches of WrestleMania weekend. I mean,
what do they care about what he says about AEW?
I mean, grifting ain't easy, but he's staying in line. He's staying in line for what he's supposed to be saying when he's out on Busted Open Radio.
Because you gave shitty opinions on AEW. Would you all stop it? Everything's not a conspiracy.
I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm saying that he knows not to say anything nice about AEW. That's for sure.
Or else what?
Or else he's not going to get that payday.
Just stop it. You sound like these psychopaths on the internet. Just stop.
Okay. We got you, my boy Blue, who says, "What's going on with this? Our best friends not buddies anymore." You must admit, Trent turned on Orange Cassidy about a few weeks ago, actually. We also got Stephen Chambers saying, "Real surprised they didn't add Orange versus Trent this Sunday." I'm glad they didn't because I think it deserves more of a build up too. If they're gonna probably do it for Double or Nothing.
It's been 5 years. How much of a build do you fucking need? It's over. Get rid of this shit.
Well, we still need to hear what's his reasoning for turning on him.
Same reason Brock was for turning on Cody. It happened. That's why.
No, we need a reason because that was the one thing that stopped me from enjoying Cody versus Brock. I never knew why.
Because of Brock and I do shit.
He didn't even say that. I would have took that, but he didn't even say. They didn't even care to tell us that. That's how you knew Vince was still around. You, my boy Blue, says change his name from Anthony Ogogo to Anthony A. Get Gone.
Damn. All right. Agreed. Beat it. Enough.
There you go. Highlights from last week's AEW Battle of the Belts 10, and we hear from Roderick Strong about him turning on Kyle O'Reilly. He says that he was glad to see O'Reilly come back because now he can be the reason that he ends his career forever. He says that he can't wait to step in the ring at Dynasty because he's going to end O'Reilly.
Oy. Speaking of injuries taking the title too long, Adam Cole apparently is well a ways away from being healthy from what I read.
Yeah, Rifle Select said they've taken him off of the road because to reduce travel to help progress his injury.
Who would have thunk? Right. Brilliant shit going on here. If it gets us rid of the Undisputed Kingdom, it can't come any faster. It's over. I don't care if they're relegated to Collision or Rampage. It's over. It's done. Let's move fucking on. Please.
Think O'Reilly wins? You think that O'Reilly wins the championship on Sunday?
Is there a difference between him and Roderick Strong?
I mean, it would be a clear sign that that Tony's given up on Undisputed Kingdom if he loses the title.
That's a fair point. Sure. Let's do it.
So he says it made more sense for Brock to help him with the title first since Brock couldn't challenge Roman anymore. I'm still upset. Yeah, I thought if he wasn't part of that Vince scandal, they should have had Brock be a part of the Cody Avengers. Because they did the whole handshake at the end, and Brock has a clear reason to want Cody to beat Roman.
That's a good point. I wouldn't have been mad at that. I was surprised Triple H was so bold in saying, "No, Brock's still here."
Mm-hmm.
I'm great, awesome. Right? What did Brock do?
I mean, they felt they were bold by having Stephanie come out because it was just a couple of weeks ago. She was named in the lawsuit.
That's the man's wife. I can't. I know.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying they've been very particular about this lawsuit, and then a couple of weeks after Stephanie's name, she shows up at Mania. That's bold. That's saying that you putting your dick on the table, like
right. Well, that's probably a Nick Khan call. If I'm going down, goddamn it, everybody's going down. Fuck it.
I love it. We got Frantic Rel that says if both Adam Cole and MJF come back at the same time, that would be great.
What is?
I think both of them will be back by All In, and they'll do the rematch.
Which is when?
August.
That's awful bold. That's awful bold of you. Where'd you get that from?
What?
That they'll both be back by August.
No, I said I think that they'll be back by. I never said I heard.
But why?
Because AEW loves to do 1 year or 2 year type things. They'll do that. They'll do Cole and MJF come back in the summer and do All In with those two.
Sure.
Up next, Will Ospreay going one-on-one with the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli. I was very excited once I heard this match was announced. And boy, oh boy, did this come through and deliver in every single way. I have to give it up to probably maybe the MVP of this matchup and the show. This was the best commentary Don Callis has done in quite some time. He was on point in this matchup. I had to give him credit for it. Castagnoli early on, he charges right at Ospreay. Ospreay avoids the Ricola bomb. He tries for a head scissors, only to be planted with a backbreaker by Castagnoli. Ospreay fought back. He hit a quick Hurricane Rana, sending Castagnoli to the floor. But Ospreay was quick after him with a dive to the outside. Castagnoli tried to send Ospreay to the barricade, but Ospreay leaped over it, smooth as hell, then does a pip cheerio off the apron to Castagnoli. Castagnoli cuts off a springboard and zones in on the ribs of Ospreay. Ospreay answers back with multiple Revolution head scissors, the Deja Vu, but then he goes for a plancha to the outside, and Castagnoli catches him and hits a big tilt-a-war powerbomb on the apron. It was all Castagnoli from there out, really grounding Ospreay and controlling the pace of the matchup. Ospreay was able to come back with a walk-the-wall enziguri, handspring, corkscrew kick for the reset. We get a haluva kick connected, and then another pip cheerio in the ring. Castagnoli ate a few Kawada kicks, but then Ospreay briefly went for a sharpshooter, but he was unable to apply it properly on the long legs of Castagnoli. Castagnoli was able to power out of it into a sharpshooter of his own. When Ospreay got close to the ropes, he transitioned into a crossface. Both men to their feet. This time, Castagnoli dodges a corkscrew kick. He tries for a springboard uppercut, but Ospreay catches him with a thrust kick in midair and then hits a great-looking Tiger Driver for a near fall. Ospreay tries for the Stormbreaker, but Castagnoli rushes him into the corner, gets an eye poke over the referee's back, and then hits some hard looking uppercuts in the corner. It was like the sound of chops with those uppercuts in the corner. He then hits a big ripcord lariat for a near fall. We get more uppercuts from Castagnoli. These uppercuts were just completely overwhelming Ospreay at this point. We get a nice little strike exchange, the yays and the boos back and forth. Ospreay gets hit with a big uppercut, goes to the mat, kicks up, hits a big itsukuri. The crowd is going crazy. He hits a series of kicks, then follows up with an Oscutter for a near fall. Ospreay is just hitting big move after big move. Castagnoli trying to reverse moves. He goes for the swing, and Ospreay is able to reverse and power up out of it, do like a sit-up out of the swing, and then hits a big tornado DDT. He goes to the top rope, hits the leap of faith for a near fall. He then takes off the arm pad, hits the hidden blade. 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay defeats Claudio Castagnoli in an absolutely fantastic matchup. One of the better Dynamite matches this year, and of course, two of the best out there in it. And I just thought that they had instant, incredible chemistry together. Like Ospreay's high flying and agility and speed worked so well with the base of Castagnoli. Castagnoli's strength with Ospreay selling was just fantastic as well. Post-match, we get Powerhouse Hobbs coming out to the ring along with Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. They hit the ring and attack Castagnoli behind Ospreay's back as Ospreay's just leaving the ring. Takeshita takes Castagnoli to the ramp, and he's looking for the brain buster when John Moxley runs in from the crowd. He attacks the Blackpool Combat Club. He represents the Blackpool Combat Club and attacks the Don Callis family. They fight them off, and Don Callis' family retreat. Meanwhile, Will Ospreay is basically asking for answers. Why did they attack Castagnoli? He didn't want to do it this way. Kyle Fletcher talks him off, says that we got it taken care of, nothing for you to worry about, while Ospreay just walks off. Moxley and Castagnoli stand off in the ring to end this one. What did you think about Ospreay and Claudio and the post-match here?
I think Ospreay's a fucking idiot. If you can hang out with people for that long, then not know why they attack somebody from behind. What are you, a dummy? Are you a fucking dolt? Why would I change because you decided you had a fucking change of heart? I'm still a killer, but you're not. What? Anyway, match was really good. Probably my third favorite Will Ospreay match behind the Takeshita match. I mean, in AEW, the Takeshita match. And
Omega?
Yeah, I really like that second Omega match. I probably slightly ahead of the Will Hobbs match. It's kind of the same thing, except lighter, for lack of a better word. Really, really good. I thought all the big moves hit the way they were supposed to. It didn't feel like it was going overkill. It felt like it made sense because Claudio felt kind of like a monster that just won't stay down. Clearly, that hit him with everything I got. Pause. Post-match was fine.
And they were going really fast. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they were their pace was ridiculous.
It was great. And it didn't overstay its welcome. How long was the match?
Does it say it here in my notes? I'm going to say 17.
17? Jesus. That was a really fast 17 minutes.
Because they were moving, They were moving like a blur. That's why, like I said, I really enjoyed this one. I would put this up there. I like this better than the Kyle Fletcher match.
I would fucking assume so. It's Kyle Fletcher.
Not just because it's Kyle Fletcher.
Fucking sorry.
Oh, actually, 14 minutes, 28 seconds.
Thank you. Good. Yes, that's what it felt like. Yeah, just there's no need to overdo it. Just get in, do all the shit you got to do, and then get out. You don't need to double back to anything. Fucking great. Fucking fantastic.
And like I said, I thought Callis was amazing. This was kind of like Kenny Omega, Don Callis, where he was able to be on his guy's side. But I thought he did a great job of talking up Castagnoli. Like early on in the matchup, he's like, Castagnoli's so good. I wish I could add him to my stable. I represent the UK, Australia, Japan. What about Switzerland? And then later on in the matchup, when Castagnoli hit like a bunch of offense, he was like, I don't know, guys. I got to say, I think Claudio's winning on points. But you don't win a matchup on points, though. You win it by winning the damn match. I was like, Callis is in his bag right now.
Very good. I don't want to say it. Oh, Fletcher? No. Fletcher's got to do something with his hair. I understand it's a tribute to somebody, and I appreciated the effort when I first saw it. Doesn't fit. It's not working. Gotta get rid of that. He dresses in a suit. Like, I don't. He doesn't fit in this group anymore, and it is what it is. Sorry, I don't know why. Not just because he's a bore, but he just doesn't fit anymore. He just doesn't. Like, everybody else is like a star.
Yeah, we got Big Man Dogs. He says, I feel like this match actually ended as it peaked in interest.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We left before we got bored, like with the Kyle Fletcher match. Sorry. No, you all love it.
I didn't get bored. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But
and another one. And another nigga. All right. Jesus.
And then finally, to end the show, we have Swerve Strickland coming out to the ring as he has to call out Samoa Joe. Strickland says that he asked early how he believes he was asked earlier how he believes he could beat Samoa Joe at AEW Dynasty. He says last week Strickland left Joe with a fear as he ran off like a little bitch. Strickland raised the AEW World title in the air, and Strickland is waiting for Joe to come to the ring so he could tell him to his face exactly how he's going to beat him at AEW Dynasty. Samoa Joe makes his way out with security trying to hold him back. We get security making a wall between Joe and the ring. Meanwhile, Swerve goes to the top rope. And what the fuck is this? A superhero landing on 8 security guards. Who does this? This is one of the wildest Swerve stops of all time. As he took out all 8 security guards with a Swerve stop off the top rope and then stands face to face with Samoa Joe. They start talking a little trash, but then there makes no time to start fighting out with one another. Joe strikes first, but Strickland comes back and fights him off. But Joe gets the better of him. Joe then gets into the ring. He stalks after Nana, who's checking on Strickland, but Strickland comes back. He flies in with the house call boot. Strickland takes too long to follow up, though, so Joe cuts him off in the corner and delivers a huge muscle buster to stand tall. He raises the AEW title as Swerve Strickland once again has been laid out by the king of television. Swerve and Joe have had better brawls in the last couple of weeks. I think that nothing's going to be better than that brawl that they did during the contract signing. But this was a formidable go-home segment to keep on the intensity of the rivalry. Give us a moment that we're going to remember with the wild Swerve stomp. And then Joe stands tall at the end to set up something for Swerve to overcome come this Sunday. I think you're muted.
Better?
Yep.
This is great. Joe and Swerve have been great. The entirety of this build. Even, I don't say even with the Hangman.
I would just say before Revolution. The Revolution build was good too.
It was decent enough. Or Hangman and Swerve able to stand across from each other without throwing hands. This is so weird. Why are we talking? Anyway, we're not going to get into that. He breaks into your kid's house, you can have a conversation. What are you doing? Anyway, that's not the point. Point is, we're here now. And this was fucking great. To me, this was an all-timer. Not the segment, but that Swerve stomp off the top.
Yeah.
It just went, that would be in his reel for forever. Forever. Listen, does it make any fucking sense? No. How did two feet take out 8 people? I don't know. But it looked cool, and that's all that matters. It's wrestling. It looked cool. God damn it.
Like Batman, yeah, it was like Batman. Like Batman brought down on all the security and rolls up like Batman just interrupted and motherfucking Bake Heist, bro. That shit was so fire. I didn't hear what happened after that. I was like, they sold me on this final segment. I think at that point, that's what I messaged you. A much better episode this week.
I was here for it. The Ricochet NXT spot's a good comparison, which is like, you're going to remember that shit forever. Yeah. I remember where I was when that shit happened. This was dope.
Facts. They literally had to redo that spot with Ricochet and Logan Paul because they can't show the Velveteen Dream one anymore.
So ridiculous. What are we doing? Come on. What?
Hey, he's the one that got him self-canceled. I mean, to be
has he been convicted of anything?
No.
Great. So you can show the fucking spot. Stop being a baby. Show the fucking spot. Jesus fucking Christ.
Why they gotta be a baby for?
It's just this fucking. Listen, I agree. We gotta get rid of him. I agree. We probably shouldn't have this motherfucker around. But like, this is our footage. What the fuck are we talking about? This is ours, ain't it? We paid this cocksucker to do this shit, and this is ours, ain't it? Great. So we'll fucking use it. Who cares? People get mad on Twitter. Who cares?
Yeah. See what happened to poor Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet just wanted to interview him, and they were trying to cancel him too.
Fucking fuck you. Who are you? Who are you? I can't talk to this motherfucker. Who are you? John Cena and The Rock are talking to Vince McMahon. Who are you? Go talk to whoever damn well, please. Are you out of your fucking mind? You've known this motherfucker for 20 years. I can't talk to him anymore.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Listen, I get it. No, my mom could stab several school children right now. I'm stop talking to my mom. That's not how that works. They've known Vince for forever. Like, it's borderline love. It's a little weird. I grant you.
This is true. They owe a lot to Vince, both of those guys. So
yeah. Rock's the biggest motherfucker on the planet.
Both of them are in Hollywood, thanks to their WWE careers, basically.
Yes, thanks to Vince pushing one of them down our throat for forever, and The Rock being impossibly charismatic. Yes.
and him making sure every heel beat The Rock during the Attitude Era.
Yes, Rock's tough though.
That's why I said. That's why it's crazy that now Rock has the perception of he's this big backstage politicker, because he was the most unselfish of any of the Attitude Era stars.
Yeah, and then what? Then what happened? And then what?
Hey, he did the right thing. He did the right thing. It's about damn time he was selfish. That's what I'd say.
It all works out in the end.
You're all due for a little bit of selfishness in your life. Yeah, everyone needs it. Everyone needs it.
Take a page out of The Rock's book. You know who could take a page out of Rock's book? Fucking Jay White certainly could, you adult. You guessed everything, stupid.
Say no more often. But yes, sound off in the live chat. Final call for super chat donations. But of course, we want to know your match of the night. MVP, LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Jimmy, we'll put our thumbs in the middle for the April 17th, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up for me, thumbs up for Jimmy. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
I'm gonna go with a 7.5. Really solid show. A few things made me sick, like promoting next week's show, 5 minutes to the show, and Hook and Jericho, and Orange Cassidy, and Shane Taylor Promotions losing. But it was way more good shit than bad shit. I'm going with 7.5.
I will go with an 8 out of 10. I thought this was a big step up from last week's show, especially one of the worst Dynamite shows I've ever seen. And 2 weeks ago, that had that Daddy Ass versus Jay White matchup and the Copeland promo. We got what the Copeland promo should have been with Moxley on this show. A great main event with Ospreay and Claudio. More greatness from Swerve and Joe. Final build for Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm was good as well. The Elite Six-Man was great. Really enjoyed this one. Jimmy Macram, what was your match of the night?
This is usually where I ignore you and go for promo, but I'm gonna go with. Oh, never mind. I'll go Claudio and Ospreay.
What, you're gonna give it to Moxley for match of the night?
Swerve.
No, fair. But yes, Claudio and Ospreay, man, this is one of the better matches that we've seen in a while on Dynamite. Since this whole build to Dynasty, I would say is probably the best match that we've seen on Dynamite.
I agree, big man. I'm not entirely sure what he's talking about. I had a blast last week, didn't you? I was a pig in shit. I was fucking.
You had so much of a good time. You gave it 6.5 out of 10.
How much fun was that? It was one of the most fun episodes we ever did.
MVP for the show, Jimmy.
I kind of got to get Swerve. Just off rip.
I'm trying to think who else I would give it to. I'm going to give it to Moxley.
Jesus.
And I'll give it to Swerve.
Ain't this a bitch?
MVP.
I would feel worse for Swerve for fucking doing all that work and then having white man tie him at the very end. You know what? You are the company you keep, sir. I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus. Who is your LVP for the show?
I don't want to go Jericho. Jesus. I'm gonna go Oi. You know what? I'm going Hook. Sorry, Hook, you're up. You were easily the worst. Didn't save your dad. Didn't try to save your dad. Had the worst talking segment. Had the worst segment on the show. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Damn, I'm trying to think.
Trying to think about not to give the Hook.
Yeah, I'm trying not to give it the Hook and trying to find a way to give it to Jericho. But yeah, I'll give it to both of them. I'll give it to Lion Hook.
Ain't this a bitch?
Yep. Sorry. I don't feel bad. And I think that's everything, right? Match of the night, MVP, LVP. Yep. There we are. But we do have a super chat donation to end us off here from you, my boy Blue. Thank you so much, Blue.
Go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
Thank you so much, Blue. We appreciate it. He says, great comment here. He says, I watch you guys more than I actually watch wrestling nowadays. Love the content. Y'all always crack me up. Thank you, Blue. We try our best. That's why we're here. To entertain y'all, even if the wrestling don't.
Love it, bro. I was gonna give it to Mercedes, but this was her best one.
Yeah,
it was bad, but it was still her best one. To be.
Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they will see you again.
On Twitter, where I come across things like the Great Kenny Omega telling you to draw out of your fucking minds for these awful star ratings, and then Ospreay said the same thing. I'm the bad guy up here somehow. I don't know. It is what it is. And on YouTube, where we watch television shows and movies, watching Atlanta at the moment.
Go over and check that out. Jimmy Macram YouTube channel, the best when it comes to TV and movie reviews. You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The True Hill Heat Prediction Championship will be back in about 2 months, I believe, Romeo said. And then we got ProWrestlingTees.com, ForYourAware.com. Get your True Hill Heat merchandise. Go over to True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment as we have coverage of the NBA playoffs and much, much more over there. And check out all the great content we got here on the channel, like Collision Discourse, number 29 from last week's AEW Collision. You can join us later today, 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our TNA Rebellion preview for this Saturday's show. Myself and Chris G breaking down all the matches and giving our predictions for this Saturday's card. And speaking of this Sunday, AEW Dynasty, join me tomorrow, 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be myself and special guest Andrew Thompson of Post Wrestling breaking down all the matches for this Sunday's card. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe, Young Bucks, FTR4. We're going to be predicting all of that. So for Jimmy Macram, who just dipped on out of here, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 142. Bounce back. We are signing off until next time. Later, y'all.